Hello YouTubers, this is Sauron, and I'm here with another IT related video. I'm going to show you today how to install apt-cacher-ng for Debian/Ubuntu systems. Now what apt-cacher-ng is a proxy server specifically for Ubuntu/Debian system to cache requests for the apt-get command, used to update and upgrade your systems here. Now it does that to save bandwidth. You can achieve the same exact thing with Squid, which is a HTTP proxy server. And with Squid, it's a lot more configurable. You can do a lot more stuff with it, but it is, because of the more configuration part, it takes a lot longer to do, and you can much more likely to screw something up. Now, what does a proxy server do? A proxy server is a server that intercepts the requests made to it by a client machine on behalf of that client machine, and basically use this on like home, not really home networks, but more of a corporate type thing, to save on bandwidth. Now, just as a quick example, let's say if you have like 10 Ubuntu desktop or Debian desktops, and 10 servers to go ahead and update, and they all have to download a 100 megabyte file. Well, 100 megs isn't much, but when you multiply that by 10 to 20, you get about a gig, 2 gigs bandwidth you now got to use. Now, what that proxy server does, if you have one in place, is that it intercepts that request. It still downloads the 100 megabyte file, but now it transfers the remaining, any subsequent requests from, like, to say, the either 9 or 19 machines, depending on how you look at it, and it does that internally. So now you have only used 100 megs of bandwidth instead of 1 to 2 gigs. It's quite a bit of a savings there. Now, why would you, the home user, really want this? It is a lot easier to configure than Squid. It's up to you if you want to go ahead and look on the internet for other videos for that. This is a little hidden gem that's built into Debian and Ubuntu systems, and it's pretty easy to set up. And if you use a lot of either virtual machines like I do, or if you have a smaller setup, like let's say if you're doing this for a couple friends, and or even not even, you know, like a smaller office, you can definitely scale this up. The more machines, the better. Let's say if you have a smaller office and you just happen to use Linux on it, this definitely would save you a lot of bandwidth. Now, let's go and get started. Here I have a virtual machine set up to just for this demo to show you how to install the server component and the client component. It doesn't take as long as you think it does. Let's go and get started. First, we're going to go ahead and type in sudo apt-get install apt-cacher-ng. Now, I've decreased my screen resolution here so you can see what I'm typing. Now, hopefully you can see my mouse. You should see sudo, or sudo, or however you want to pronounce it, space apt-get, space install, space apt-cacher-ng. Now, if you look here and just double tap the tab key, it gives you several options. We want the ng one. This is the one that's actually easy to set up. Go ahead and press enter. Apparently I had this pre-installed. Let's go ahead and remove it just for this demo. Okay, let's go ahead and reinstall this now. Okay, as you can see, it's downloaded it. It's only about a 1.2 megs, so it's not that, it won't take all that long to download, but it does save you quite a bit. As you can see here, the server is actually started. Now, we're going to go ahead and open up a web browser and go to the server's address. Here I'm using 10.0.25:3142, which is the port that apt-cacher-ng actually uses. Now, here you can go ahead and follow the instructions to configure it. You're going to have to do this on each of your client machines. just because you've installed it in the server doesn't mean that your clients automatically use this. You still have to do this on the clients, but once they're set up, it's actually pretty easy. You can go ahead and follow the instructions here, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you in a bit, show you how in a much easier way that won't not really screw up your system, but it's less likely to screw up your system because you don't have to as much to type in, as you can see here. Now, while we're on this page, I'm going to go ahead and show you the statistics and configuration page for that's also built into the server. So you can already see that it comes with all of these. You can go ahead and configure right off the bat if you want, like downloading package files, pre-cache them. This is just so you can see what traffic's been, how much it's saved you so far. I have quite a few virtual machines, so it's saved me quite a bit of bandwidth so far for the short time I've had this one up. Now, you might have noticed that the IP address here is at 10.0.2.5, while over here on this system it's at 10.0.2.7. Now, why is there a discrepancy here? It's because I'm actually running this for my demo. This is not my real apt-cache server. This one is. So what's going on here, why it actually installed so fast, is because this virtual machine here is actually pulling its data from this one. So it actually saved myself, I didn't use up any kind of bandwidth whatsoever to install the apt-cacher service, as you saw. And this other virtual machine that you see here, which is an Ubuntu desktop, is also configured to it. As you can see that it's pulling that information from this IP address. Now, like I said, you can go ahead and go to this page and follow the instructions to install it, but I'm going to go ahead and show you another easier way to do it. First, we'll go back to this quick virtual machine, and we'll go to the etc apt or apt.conf.d directory. Okay, we'll create a file in here, and I've called mine at50 apt-cacher. You can give it anything you want. The first two numbers are the first number or numbers that you put in front of it is the order that it loads in. 50 is like in between 0 and 100, so it's fine. And basically, you're going to only put one line: acquire ::, http left brace proxy :http:// the IP address of the apt-cache server you just set up. In this case, if I was using this virtual machine to refer to itself or refer to another one, I would put 7 instead of 5 here. :3142, which is the port that the apt-cacher-ng actually uses. :, right brace, semicolon. That's the only thing you need. Once you install that, it takes effect immediately. You can then copy this file to each one of your other client machines using SCP, a thumb drive, wherever you want, however you want to do it, and just stick this file in each of the apt-conf folders, or etc apt.conf.d folder, and automatically takes effect, and saves you a lot of typing. Rather editing and typing for each client you're going to do. Like I said, this is the much easier way. Just have one file, one line, copy, paste. Okay, and like I said, this is just for the client part. Once the clients are configured through this one file, you're all set. Now, just to show you, like I said, that 1 meg thing that you saw to install apt-cacher didn't really take all that long. We're going to go ahead and use a little bit larger download. Let's try MySQL, for instance. Oop. Install. And in this case, let's use the server. -5.5. This should be a little bit longer of a bigger download. Oh, look at almost 100 megs, just what I was talking about earlier. And you can see that's quite a few libraries. Let's see how long this takes, since we're now pulling this off of a cache server instead of a download. Just as a quick comparison here, I'm on a residential line with a 30 megabit connection. Even with the 30 megabit connection, that's still going to take a bit. So we're going to see how fast it's going to install this through the apt-cache server. As you can see, it's downloading rather quickly, about 3 megs per second. I'm just gonna do whatever, just so you can see. I don't really care here. This virtual machine's not going to be very long-lived to begin with anyway. And you can see it just roughly downloaded 100 megs in a few seconds here, not even a minute. I suppose you could do the same thing, almost the same thing with my ISP connection, roughly 30 megs, but I have a gigabit connection, and between virtual machines I have no idea what the actual speed would be. But as you can see, it didn't take all that long to begin with. And from the total length of this video, including my babbling as it were, you can see it only literally took minutes to go ahead and install the server, generate and copy the file if you want from one client to another, and you're pretty much all set. Now, as you can see, you could go ahead and do it this way. This is basically the same line. If you go to the actual server address, this one will be actually customized to you. So if you want to copy and paste this into the file, that's just as good, and it will save you quite a bit of bandwidth. Like I said, if you use virtual machines, or rather quite a bit of virtual machines like I do, this will definitely save you quite a bit of bandwidth, especially with the newer Ubuntu 14.04 coming out later this month. So if you want to go ahead and install this update server, download the single update or single upgrade, as it were, for a single machine. This apt-cache server will go ahead and handle the rest of the traffic for the other machines on your either network or virtual machines and make any additional requests. Now, I hope you find this video pretty handy. This is a hidden gem that's actually built into Debian/Ubuntu machines, and like I said, you can go ahead and certainly do Squid if you want, but Squid does certainly require a lot more configuration, and it does have a lot more power as a trade-off. But this is definitely an easy to do, quick upgrade that will save you a lot of bandwidth. Okay, one additional feature I forgot to mention when configuring the apt-cacher is a port you probably need. Now, as early in the video you saw, it was port 3142. I'm going to show you actually how to do that with a firewall rule. So we're going to go ahead and go into the firewall directory here. I'm using UFW. Oh, I'm sorry, I had to be in my other... Where is it? This one. Here we go. I never could type in my password right the first time. I don't know why. Oh, what's going on now? Is my caps lock on? Nope. Okay, let's gonna go into this firewall directory. Like I said, I'm using UFW. I've created a specific firewall rule for this. And this is just for a single port. Now, as you can see, it uses 3142, and on the server you just want to allow inbound connections for 3142. Of course, you're still going to need outbound connections for HTTP, you know, port 80 and all that, just like you would for a normal update. But just for the apt-cacher-ng server itself, you'll need port 3142 open for incoming only. Now, you'll take the reverse of this for the clients, if you're going to use UFW for the clients, and use it for outbound only instead of inbound, just so it can talk to the server and the server can receive commands. That should handle any kind of issues regarding the firewall. Like I said, it's just one rule that, depending on which way you have it, going in or out, it would depend on if it's the server or the client. Again, thanks for watching, and